Hi everyone, this is Dr. Jerome Joseph, and can you believe it? 23rd of October 2023, I turned 50 years old. I can't believe what a journey it's been. Over the years, I remember when I first started my career in a brand agency, and it was in the early 90s, and today I have traveled to 37 countries delivering programs, worked with more than 1,000 brands. I have written 9 books, and I'm recognized as a global thought leader. But over the past 50 years of my life, I've come to learn many precious lessons. And I'm going to spend today sharing with you my 50 lessons. And I've written it down, and it's just been an amazing journey for my life. And I want to break it down into 3 categories. The first category is life. Here are my lessons when it comes to life. First lesson is this: friends will come and go throughout your life, and that's okay. You have friends for a reason, you have friends for a season, and you have friends for a lifetime. So pick and choose your friends. Number 2, embrace life's ups and downs. They shape who you've become. I've gone through so much in life, and I have to say I'm glad that everything that's happened to me, because it is shaping who I am today. Also, in July 25th, 1992, I nearly lost my life. I was hanging by a thread, but I managed to survive. So after that near-death experience, I realized that life's values become very clear. Cherish every moment. Embrace life's fragility with gratitude. Every day is a gift worth celebrating. Lesson number 4. Every disagreement is an opportunity for us to understand. Not to win, but to understand. I've had numerous disagreements in my life. And when I first started thinking about disagreements, I used to think I need to get my way. It's got to be my way. But then I realized that it's better to understand. It's not always about winning, but also about understanding. Make peace with your past so that it won't affect your present. Often I would be stagnant because I let my past get the better of me. And I realized that growth comes from making peace with your past, learning from it, and not letting it affect your present and your future. Be relentless in chasing your passions. I love branding. I'm obsessed with branding. And I told myself many years ago that I wanted to be the best in the world when it comes to branding. And I've been on this relentless journey. And I still am. So be relentless. Also, when I first started my career, I used to think that finding joy was coming from having great friends and company and all that. And I realized that that's not always the truth. I realized that I needed to be happy inside, and that was important to me. So find joy within and not just from the outside. Miracles happen when you least expect them. That's lesson number 8. You see, over the years I've had numerous things happen to me. And there are times and moments when I thought, that's it, that's the end, goodbye, sayonara. But then a miracle happened. And out of the blue, it could be a kind stranger, or something just happens. And I've come to realize that miracles happen. So I believe in miracles. Lesson number 9. Everyone has their battles. And empathy goes a long way. Now, I've met many people in my life. And I remember meeting a very unkind gentleman. But then I realized the reason why he was unkind, it was because he had lost his children. Now, I can't imagine what that would do to a human being. And when I realized that, I realized a lot of his struggle came from this sadness, this depression that he was going through. So remember, right, everyone around you, they are going through their battles, and its empathy is important. Better days lie ahead is lesson number 10. There are days, and I still remember during COVID, when COVID happened, and it was March 2020, and I was fully booked for the year. I received call after call from my client telling me that everything was cancelled. I had no more work. And can you imagine, from significant revenue to zero? But I always believed that, and I always believed that was better days ahead, that lay ahead. And truth enough, I used 2020 to complete my PhD. I got a lot of things done, and I realized that actually there's always opportunity in crisis. I truly believe that better days always lie ahead. As I get older, and that's lesson number 11, Age brings clarity about who truly matters in your life. I used to want to be liked by every single person. And I used to want to be an important person in everyone's life. And I realized the older I got, it's really about important people that matter to me. Lesson number 12. Children teach us as much as we teach them. Now, here's a very powerful lesson for me because I've got two beautiful daughters and my oldest is 4 years old. And the other day I was in front of my computer and I was stressed, and my daughter walked in the room and she saw me stressed. She touched me and she gave me a kiss on my cheek and she goes, "Papa, patience." And that sweetness was something, I just, I had a tear that rolled down, because children, I'm telling you, children teach us as much as we teach them. And I paused and I let myself settle and I started to be patient. And the minute that happened, things were a lot better. Number 13, continuous learning keeps the mind sharp and the spirit adventurous. I love learning. For me, I am obsessed with learning. I spend a lot of time on learning, and I encourage you to keep wanting to learn. And I promise you this, I'm 50 now. If I'm 80 years old, I still am going to be learning. I'm always going to learn something new. Lesson number 14 is this: your path is uniquely yours. Embrace it. Everyone will have their own journey. Don't envy other people. You have your own journey to live. It's yours. And I knew that my path is to speak, be a thought leader, make a difference to the world of branding. That's who I am. And everyone else would have their own path. Embrace it. Intelligence takes many forms. Cherish them all. Here's something that I learned in life. I realized that you could have someone with high IQ but low EQ. So one of the things that was important to me, and this was a lesson, is that there are different types of intelligence. There are people who are great with people, they got great people skills, or they have very high self-awareness, or very strong emotional intelligence, and there are people who are just really, really very smart, and different types of people. And I want to respect and cherish them all, because everyone brings value. Lesson number 16, seek the deeper meaning in everything. I realized that in life there are a lot of things that we're going to get at face value. For example, there are wars that are going on, and for me, I just don't want to follow a trend and everyone says, "You got this person's wrong." I don't want to jump into that and say that person is wrong. I want to understand. I want to know. I want to find deeper meaning, and this is in everything that I do today. If someone shares a concept or shares a thought with me, I want to know more. I want to seek a deeper meaning. Lesson number 17, accept imperfection is part of being human. And I look at it at two ways. Number one, myself. I love to play at a very high, even when I'm doing this video, I want it to be the best, but it's not going to be. There's going to be imperfection. And I have to accept it. It's part of who I am. It's part of being human. And even when I work with people around me, I should not expect perfection from them all the time. I realize that being imperfect, it's a human nature. Lesson number 18, compassion is strength, not weakness. I've had staff members who have been sick, whose spouses have been sick. And if I remember many years back, I had a staff who was suffering from cancer and couldn't work for almost 5 months, I believe. And I paid for every single month of her salary, including paying for some of her medical treatment. Because for me, and everyone told me, "What are you doing?" Right? It's 5 months, go and hire someone else. But for me, compassion is a strength. It has to be a strength. It should never be seen as a weakness. Lesson number 19, choose your responses. Don't let them be dictated by others. I truly, truly believe that, right? I truly believe that you have to choose your response in life. And it's got to come from you and what you believe. Many people will tell you what to do and tell you what they think. Good. Listen, get that feedback. But remember, you choose your response. So that's my lessons in life. Let's talk about lessons in business. And I've over the past 26 years, almost 27 years, I've been a leader. I've run a business. I've built a team. I've got 2 companies, a brand consulting firm, a brand training company, and we've grown it significantly. At one point, I sold the business and I was listed on NASDAQ. So I've learned a lot from business, and I've had my ups and my downs. So here are some lessons in relation to business. So lesson number 20 is this, right? When you build a business, build a team that complements your strength. I'm very good at the big picture. I'm very good at looking at things and being able to shape things, but I'm not really a nitty-gritty person. So what do? I find people who are nitty-gritty, and that helps and that complements the strengths that I have. Number 21, investing in the next generation is important. For me, that's a true mark of leadership, investing in the next generation. Everyone that I've hired over the years, I've been obsessed with teaching them, telling them giving them my knowledge and my experiences so that they can improve and they can impact their marketplace. So for me, this is key, right? I really, really want them to grow, and that's important. And for me, that's a true mark of leadership. Lesson number 22, why is more important than how? Context is king. I mean, one thing that I learned is why. It's asking your why, right? Why are you doing this? Why were you put on this place? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? For me, why is more important than the how, because if I have context, then the how will come. Lesson number 23, believe in yourself when others doubt you. Now, over the years, I mean, even with my own company, at times when I had a vision of things that I wanted to do, I remember in the early 90s, and I told my team, I said, I want to do digital branding. I think that's going to be key. I think the world, everything's going to be online. I remember every single person in that room said to me, not traditional way of doing things. They didn't use the word traditional then, but the normal way of doing things was offline. They said, no one's ever going to replace offline. And I fought my team for this, but a lot of them didn't agree. Nevertheless, fast forward to the future, they all came to me and goes, you were right. We wish we had listened to you. So one of the things that I realized is this, right? You got to believe in yourself. Others will doubt you, and you start to doubt yourself as well, but believe in yourself. Lesson number 24, success is personal. Define it on your own terms. Now, early on in my career, I remember I was doing relatively well, and I met one of my friends, and this guy had made it big. He had made it big, and he was doing extremely well, and part of me had this sense of envy. I'm like, why can't I be like him? I don't think I'm good enough. But then I realized that success is personal. Because I met another guy, and this guy was a missionary. He's a missionary, and he wasn't making a lot of money, but he was absolutely happy because he was making a difference in the mission work that he was doing. And he was happy, and he was smiling, and he loved his life. So this was a big lesson to me, and I realized that success is personal. You cannot compare yourself with others. You define what you want for success. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be success in the time that you get, the moments that you spend with your family, your life experiences. Lesson number 25, find mentors and coaches that will help you raise your game. For me, I wish I knew this a lot earlier. One of my first mentors is a buddy of mine called Scott Friedman, who first introduced me to the world of speaking in 2005. No, I was a brand consultant then, but he introduced me and he was my first mentor. And over the years, I've had multiple mentors and coaches to help me. Find a mentor, find a coach that will help you raise your game. Lesson number 26, networking isn't just about context, it's about genuine connections. I love networking, and it's important that you network. By the way, I'm introverted, so it's actually a lot more challenging for me. But networking isn't just about context. There are people that I've met who have become good friends and really genuine connections who have helped me over the years, and that's important, right? Build genuine connections. Next, lesson number 27, cultivate a growth mindset. Keep asking yourself, how can you do this better? Keep raising your game. Keep sharpening your saw. For me, every time I start the day, I ask myself, how can I do things better for my company? How can I do things better even after I do a keynote? And I may get a standing ovation for my keynote, but I finish, I ask myself, what am I doing better? What can I do better? What can I do better? Comfort never produces greatness. And for me, I like to be uncomfortable because that's the growth mindset. Lesson number 28, always strive for excellence, not just perfection. So for me, I talked about perfection early on, and I'd like to get that. I like to drive towards perfection. But for me, what's important for me is excellence. I might not be perfect, but I want to make sure that I do not a perfect job, but an amazing job. So when I do my keynotes, at times where I may stumble, I may stammer, and that's okay, because I can't be perfect all the time. but I want to make sure that I put my heart and soul in that keynote. And for me, that's about excellence. Next, lesson number 29, your brand's essence will drive who you are. Create it and stay true to it. I created my brand, personal brand, in 1997, and I had this vision, I had my purpose, I had my values, and over the years I have rebranded slightly, but it drives who I am. Every time I meet someone, or I engage with someone, I want my brand to show up, my personal brand to show up. If I put something on social media, people need to see that. So your personal brand should drive who you are. Lesson number 30. Every interaction is an opportunity to create a lasting impression for your personal brand. Every touch point is key. When I meet someone, I'll give you a quick story on this. I remember many years back, and I was doing a keynote, and there was a guy that was backstage. He was like a lighting and sound guy, and he was sitting backstage. And when I finished my speech, I came backstage, and he was just clapping his hands, and he has a big smile on his face, and he goes, Jerome, you just moved me. I mean, I loved your keynote. And I felt really very touched by what he said. So I had a copy of my book, which I normally bring on stage, and I gave it to him, and I said, you're the first person that said such kind things to me this entire day. Thank you for listening, and I know you're working, but you took the trouble to listen. I appreciate you. Here's a copy of my book. He was so touched that I gave him, and I only brought one copy, and I gave that to him. He was so touched that, guess what he did? He took it back home and showed it to his family. His brother, who was a CEO of a business, ended up calling me to do work, branding consulting work for his brother's company. And it all started from that impression that I made on that sound and lighting technician. So here's the thing, right? Every interaction is an opportunity for you to create a lasting impression for your personal brand. Lesson number 31. Leadership is about purpose, influence, and servitude, not just authority. Over the years, I've seen multiple leaders. Some of them stand there and they're like, do this, you do this because I'm the boss. Well, there are moments when you need to be the boss and to be, to kind of put in a strong dominance. And that moments when you need to. But it should not be just about that. It should be about a purpose. It should be about your purpose, your influence, and how you're going to serve. And for me, that's what leadership is truly about. Lesson number 32. Foster meaningful relationships in business. They're invaluable. Over the years, I've had multiple clients, and I've always strove to build those relationships as strong as I can, right? Hosting them, making sure that I drop in notes to them. And for me, the ones that I've really become really close to, they become invaluable because they continue to come back to me and they continue to support me in my business. Lesson number 33 is show the world your expertise. Don't just tell them. And here's the thing, I've met and I've coached multiple personal brands in the world. Some of them are talented human beings, but the reason why they're not getting any work is because they're not telling the world. I tell the world that I'm really good at speaking, that I'm really good at consulting, I'm really good at coaching, I'm an amazing workshop leader. I keep telling the world that. And when I tell the world, the ones that listen end up hiring me. So remember, show the world your expertise, don't just tell them. Celebrate success with those who have been part of your journey. I owe a lot, right? To my wife, to my kids, to my mentors, to my team, and I continue to celebrate those success with them. Lesson number 35, regardless of what others do to us, we still choose who we are and how we respond to them. This is important, and I tell you why. Because there are people who have taken money from me, who have not paid me back. There are clients who have owed me money. And for me, I always try to take the higher ground. And it's painful at times because trust me, I want to sue the pants off, right? But I sometimes take the higher ground because I realize that why put myself through all this? So I want to be, that's my brand. I'm not a vicious person, and I don't want to be a vicious person. I choose who I want to be and how I want to respond. Lesson number 36. Every employee, irrespective of rank, brings value. Treat them as your most powerful, is your most valuable asset. Here's the thing. I've worked with hundreds of people in my life. And it doesn't matter if you are at the lowest rank or the highest rank. For me, you are bringing value to my business. And you are my most valuable asset, regardless of your rank. Lesson number 37. Stay humble in success and optimistic in failure. And it's an important lesson to me. Of course, there are times. I mean, when I was ranked number 2 in the world in 2020, it was a huge thing. Oh! So for me, I wanted to really boast about it. I have to admit I did. But I realized that, yes, I needed to tell the world, but I needed to also be humble. So I told a story about how I went through that journey of getting there, and then kind of changed the whole perspective, because everyone saw my hardships rather than just me saying, yay, I'm awesome. But they saw the struggle that I did to get to being number 2 in the world. And when I fail, I tell myself, you know what, it happens. So being optimistic in failure. Lesson number 38, keep embracing change. Do not fear it. Find opportunities in it. Yes, change is always, COVID was a big change for me, and there are many things. Do not fear it. Find opportunities in it. Lesson number 39, your customers have everything. Treat them well. I want to stress this, right? A customer for me puts rice on the table. It feeds me, not just me, but the members of my team. They need to be treated to the highest standard possible. Lesson number 40, cultivate resilience in business. Now, here's the thing, right? Challenges are inevitable, but you got to have that resilient mindset. When it happens, you got to keep telling yourself, yes, setbacks occur, learn from them and rise stronger. All right, that's lesson number 40. The next category is on legacy. It's one of the things that I realized is that at 50 years old, I want to achieve a legacy that I'm really proud of. So here are lesson number 41, which is based around the concept of legacy. Your legacy is built on the lives that you have touched. For me, that's simple. There are many people that I've helped over the years that have come to me and says, Jerome, thank you for helping us. Thank you for making a difference to me. For me, that is legacy for me, and it's important for me. The next thing that I want to look at is lesson number 42 is about giving back. So for me, giving back is so powerful. I give back in multiple ways, right? I give back through the speeches, the keynotes that I do because I'm helping other people, through my coaching, but also giving back by helping younger kids, underprivileged kids. And for me, that creates a ripple effect that lasts generations. Legacy number 43, inspire others not just with words but with action. Again, this is really so important for me, right? I want to be able to not just tell people but do things for them, right? Go out my way. So inspire others not just with words but with actions. Lesson number 44, love your family more than anything else in the world. I adore my family. I love them to bits. And for me, I would lay my life on the ground any time of day for any member of my family, because without them, without my daughter, my wife, I am nothing. Lesson number 45, stand up for causes bigger than yourself. So for me, one of the big causes that I have is racism. Now, over the years, I've been bullied because of the color of my skin. I've been called names, and I've stood up for it. I've fought against it. Because for me, it's not just about me. Because I think about a kid with a darker skin going to a school with someone with lighter skins and being called terrible, hurtful names. And I went through that, and it was tough. And I want to fight for those kids. Lesson number 46. Legacy isn't just about remembrance. It's about impact. I don't want people to remember me. The day I die, I want people to go, that guy, Dr. Jerome Joseph, he did this for me. He went out of his way. I've changed because of what he said or what he's done for me. So remember, that's important for me. It's about the impact that I make. 47. Teach the next generation the value of integrity and character. And over the years, I've met people. I remember I had a new staff that had joined me, and this person kept taking days off. They're sick, they're not well, and I realized that this person was not honest with me. So one of the things that I told this staff of mine was, come on, right? If you need to go and you need to get things done and you need time off, take it, but don't lie to me, because for me, integrity and character is everything. And after I taught him that, today he's one of my most loyal staff, right? And he's avoided doing any of this. He's been very upfront with me, and for me, that's important. So the value of integrity and character is key. Your experiences, stories, and lessons are treasure told for future generations. In the limited time that I've had talking to you, I realize that I've had shared a few stories with you. You, if you're listening to this, you have your experiences, you have great stories, you have great lessons. Tell them, share them, because this is treasure. People learn through storytelling. Lesson number 49 is this: legacy is about planting seeds in gardens you may never see bloom. Now, I stress this because as you are planting your seeds, you're making a difference. You may never know about it, and that's okay. It's okay, because you're planting seeds, and the seeds that you plant will one day blossom into beautiful flowers. And you might not be around to see it, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you have made a difference. And finally, lesson number 50. A meaningful legacy is built on love, wisdom, service, and God. That is my true belief, that legacy is really about love. I love the people around me, and I wanna be a person that loves. I want to be a person that takes my experience and allows someone to take that. I want to serve, and God is the center of my life, and I want to see God, right? So as a Christian, I truly believe that when a day when I'm called to heaven, that I want to be with God. So reaching the age of 50 is not just about the years gone by, right? It's about stories and lessons and experiences, and these 50 lessons are my reflections, distillation of the different moments and milestones of my journey, and I'm sharing them with you in the hope that they resonate with you, that they spark something inside of you, or maybe offer you a different perspective. This is my perspective, of course, but I hope that it gives you food for thought. So here's a toast to the lessons that we've learned and the ones to come, and the incredible journey that we call life. Cheers to embracing each and every moment, and a toast to many more years of discovery and growth. This is Dr. Jerome Joseph, wishing success in growing your world-class brand and leaving your legacy.